immediate.
5 unidentified bodies are currently lying at the Jaffna Teaching Hospital, Mahing. Now, these bodies are of 3 men, a woman and also a small child. Now, the police confirmed to News First this evening that these bodies were discovered from various parts in the Jaffna Peninsula over the recent past.
Now, the bodies were discovered, actually 3 bodies were discovered when they washed ashore on the Kites beach, and they have not been identified as yet. The police, however, suspect that these bodies that were discovered in the Kites beach are likely to be that of illegal migrants who were travelling to Australia. With that, we go in for Action TV.
Over the past 7 years, the general public was able to observe how public representatives were enthusiastic in organizing events to mark the anniversary of President Rajapaksa's ascent to power. Among these events was the implementation of various infrastructure projects which complement the president as well as provide the general public with necessary facilities. These infrastructure projects also gave the opportunity for various politicians to include their names in the project and thereby build their own image. One fine example of this can be witnessed at the plaque which commemorates the opening of the Homagama bus stand, which was erected in line with the 7th anniversary of the president taking up office. Incidentally, the commemorative plaque bears the names of public representatives representing the parliament as well as other local government bodies. It has been 8 months and 12 days since the new bus stand was officially declared open. However, the old bus stand, which is in a dilapidated condition, is still in use instead of the newly constructed one. These grievances aired by a private bus worker were the one addressed by public representatives during the opening of the new bus stand on the 21st of November. If the public representatives who are on this plaque erected to mark the opening of the new bus stand arrive at this location, they would realize that the new Homagama bus stand is merely a farce which does not even meet the standards of the old bus stand. These students of the Homagama Central College also might be confused with the condition of the bus stand, as they were forced to attend the opening ceremony on the same day in which they were supposed to sit down for their term-end examinations. Shouldn't this bus stand, which bears testament to the 7th anniversary of the president taking up office, be transformed into one which actually fulfills its purpose towards the public before the 8th anniversary of the president taking office arrives? Western Province Minister of Transport, this is over to you.
The police have shot at 5 suspects who attempted to escape from the Horana Court complex. The suspects had attempted to escape when they were being returned to the Calcutta prison after being produced before the Horana magistrate. Now, this was confirmed to News First by the prison's Commissioner G.B. Kulatunga this afternoon. Police officers at the court premises had shot at the suspects, injuring 2 who have been admitted to the Nagara hospital for treatment. The prison's commissioner added that the other 3 suspects were also apprehended. Let me tell you a story about what's happening elsewhere in the country. My focus now is on Tangol and Koskama, where road accidents took place. 5 people were killed in separate road accidents in Koskama and also Tangol. The police say that a 1.5-year-old child was among those who were killed in the accident that occurred in Tangol. Let's take a look at these incidents that took place.
3 members of the same family were killed in an accident that occurred in the Paharjawal area in Tangol last night. The police say that a bus from the Amblipitia depot had collided with a 3-wheeler. The mother, wife and 1.5-year-old child of the 3-wheeler driver were killed in the accident. The driver of the 3-wheeler and 2 others who were also travelling in the 3-wheeler were admitted to the Mathura General Hospital for treatment. The victims are residents of Kapparatota in Waligama and were travelling to Mathura when tragedy struck. The bus was plying from Mathura to Udawalawa. The police say that the accident occurred as a result of the driver of the 3-wheeler losing control of the vehicle. 2 women were killed in an accident that occurred at about 9 o'clock last night in the Suduwal area in Koskama on the Colombo-Avissawala main road. The police say the accident occurred when a van which attempted to overtake a bus collided with an oncoming 3-wheeler. The 2 women who were travelling in the 3-wheeler were killed on the spot. The women have been identified as 50-year-old Chandrika Jayalat Vikramasuriya and 61-year-old K. Padmavati from Ihalabomiriya in Kadwela. The accident had occurred while the women were returning home from a funeral. The driver of the 3-wheeler and a passenger in the van were admitted to the Avissawala based hospital. The driver of the 3-wheeler has since been transferred to the National Hospital in Colombo as he was in critical condition. The police say the driver of the van was found to be under the influence of alcohol and has been arrested.
Former Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad has taken a very hardline position on Western powers over the recent past. It's quite interesting to see the statement that came from the new Iranian President, Mahina, that is Hassan Rouhani, when he took oath yesterday. He said something very interesting. He said he hoped confidence building with foreign powers would help resolve the nuclear dispute and ease international sanctions. A very interesting statement indeed.
Of course, Shamir, and here's a look at the inaugural speech made by Rouhani today.
The respected people of Iran voted positively for moderation and distancing from extremism. The thinking and executing core of the government will be based on moderation and wisdom. Moderation means balance between aspirations and reality, and the preference of national interest above those of the party. In line with the great steps the Islamic establishment took to dignify the role of women, the government of prudence will aim to restore further women's rights as much as it can and establish equal opportunities for them in social fields. The government perceives this as a priority in its duties.
Since his election by a wide margin over conservative rivals in June, many inside and outside Iran have pinned their hopes of a diplomatic resolution to the dispute over Tehran's nuclear program on Rouhani, a cleric whose watchword is moderation, but who is still very much an Islamic Republic insider. The United States said yesterday it is prepared to work with the new government of Iran to address concerns about Iran's nuclear program if Iran will engage seriously on the issue. A White House statement said, quote, should this new government choose to engage substantively and seriously to meet its international obligations and find a peaceful solution to this issue, it will find a willing partner in the United States, unquote.
Despite the fact that Mahina Hassan Rouhani said that he hoped confidence building with foreign powers would help resolve the nuclear dispute and ease international sanctions, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu thinks otherwise. He said that he was no different to his predecessor Mohammed Ahmadinejad and that the Islamic Republic was pursuing the same nuclear arms capability agenda.
That's interesting to note, Shamir, because as he convened his weekly cabinet meeting in Jerusalem, Netanyahu said that what Rouhani is saying depicts that the views of the Iranian government have not changed from one regime to another.
Iran's president said the day before yesterday that Israel is a wound on Islam's body. The president in Iran has changed, but the intention of the regime there has not changed. It has remained the same. Iran's intention is to develop nuclear capability and nuclear arms, and its aim is to destroy the state of Israel, and this represents a danger not only to us and to the Middle East, but to the entire world, and we are all committed to prevent this.
Unfortunately, I think President Rouhani showed us so fast and so soon that there is no difference between him and his predecessors. He himself said once again that Israel has no right to exist, and I would like to believe that the international community will realize that to deal with Rouhani is to deal with Ahmadinejad. They are the same. And it means that there is no way to lift the sanctions that were imposed on Iran by the international community.
It's just been days after Israel and Palestinians began peace talks after many years. What is happening right now in the region, Mahina?
Well, the Israeli cabinet has voted to expand the list of illegal West Bank settlements eligible for government subsidies, a move that is sure to strain the already fragile peace talks.
Included on the list are 91 settlements in the occupied West Bank, up from 85 on the previous version. Many of these settlements are in areas which would almost certainly have to be evacuated by Israel if there is to be any deal with the Palestinians. Israeli settlements are illegal under international law, and the United Nations and much of the world treats them as such. 4 Israeli ministers abstained from the vote, including Justice Minister Tzipi Livni, who is also the lead negotiator in talks with the Palestinian Authority.
The John Talbot Athletic Meet is a showcase event in the school sporting calendar. Incidentally, Varuna Attanayaka placed a new meet record at the 44th Sir John Talbot Junior Athletic Meet, which is currently underway.
The athletic meet is held at the Mahinda Rajapaksa Stadium in Diagama.
Around 5,200 athletes are participating in this year's meet under 8 age groups. The athlete meet kicked off this morning with a colourful ceremony, and it's notable that under 12 and under 13 events are only being held for certificates. Representing Lyceum International School in Vatkala, Varunatha Nayakar set a new meet record in the under 15 high jump event. He recorded a distance of 1 meter and 85 centimeters. He secured the first place and was awarded the gold medal. Jani Gayana from Ave Maria Convent in Negombo secured the gold medal in the women's under 15 discus throw. Meanwhile, KGN Veerasinghe from Veyangoda Central College won the gold for the under 14 women's putt shot. The athletic meet is due to conclude next Thursday.
Well, there was bad news for Sri Lanka at the World Badminton Championships when Sri Lankan badminton player and national champion Niluka Karunaratne was defeated by Yan Hun in his first match played today.
The World Championships kicked off today with the participation of 349 athletes representing 49 countries. This is the 20th time in which these games are being held. The Sri Lankan badminton player Niluka Karunaratne was the only athlete to represent Sri Lanka at the World Championships this year. Niluka, who faced the Hong Kong player Yang Yun, was defeated for 2-0. Yan Hun stands 4th place in world rankings while Niluka falls 2nd.
It was bad luck for Australia today. The third test ended in a draw.
And the reason for that was rain. Well, the game was worked off at the Old Trafford in Manchester, and obviously the series is led by England, who have a 2-0 advantage over Australia. Play commenced today on the 5th and final day of the 3rd Ashes Test, and once again England began their run chase of 332 runs. The visitors were able to bag 3 quick wickets.
Rain intervened and the game was eventually called off. England still lead the 5-match test series 2-0, Mahina. Quite interesting to see how they would come up strong in the Ashes in the future.
Well, I think, Shamir, it's good news all around for England these days. We have a royal baby, we have the Ashes going for England. Well, what could be better news for England these days?
Royal baby, you had to bring it up, Mahina. Quite interesting indeed. England all the way. Tiger Woods is to a 7th shot victory at the WGC Invitational at the Firestone Country Club yesterday, Mahina, earning his 79th win on the PGA Tour and sounding an ominous warning to his rivals ahead of next week's PGA Championship. Still world number 1 in golf.
Yes, 7 strokes ahead overnight. The world number 1 left an elite field trailing in his wake as he signed off with a level par 70 to land a record 8th title in the World Golf Championship event.
7 strokes ahead overnight, the world number 1 left an elite field trailing in his wake as he signed off with a level par 70 at Firestone Country Club to land a record 8th title in the World Golf Championships event. Woods played rock-steady golf on a warm, blustery afternoon at one of his favourite venues, barely making a mistake on the way to a 15-under total of 265 for his 5th PGA Tour title this year in only 11 starts. Fellow American Keegan Bradley, the defending champion, closed with a 67 to share 2nd place at 8-under with Swede Henrik Stenson. With his 8th victory at Firestone, Woods equalled the mark he already shares with Sam Snead for most wins at a single PGA Tour event.
And the winner, ladies and gentlemen, let's recognize and honor Dr. Sinmaya Devananda, ladies and gentlemen, the Volunteer of the Year.
Who is next? Be Awards 2013, coming soon.
At the start of the news, Mahina, I did make a mistake with the cities and the timings here and there. Let me just give our viewers the right timings. It's 7:45 p.m. in Tehran, Iran. It's 12:15 p.m. in New York, USA, and it's 10:50 here in Sri Lanka. This is Primetime News on News First, your number 1 news provider. We, of course, will keep a comprehensive watch on all the stories that is taking place, not only in Sri Lanka, but across the world. For the moment, I'm Shamir Viswade.
And I'm Naina Bongs. It was a pleasure having you with us here as always. Join us again tomorrow, same time, same place. Good night.
Hotline 0